the A train. To go to Sugar Hill way up in Harlem.
Harlem became the center of entertainment because of the fact that it was the only place in the country that a black man could show his art, that could display his art.
If you miss the A train, you'll find you missed the quickest way to Harlem. Hurry, get on now, it's coming. Listen to those rails a thrumming. All aboard, get on the A train. Soon you will be on Sugar Hill in Harlem. You take your baby to Harlem, you're bound to find the hall up on Sugar Hill, where everyone's having a solid ball. You board that A train, and then you ride till you dig this number, 145 Street, where all the cats meet, posing on the stroll. Pops are really in there. That's the riff, that's the band all play. It's groovy, the hep cats say. Then you know that you're in Harlem.
This is Harlem. And that's a name that means ghetto, now as much as it did way back in the 30s and 40s. But look around, it hasn't changed too much. About the same, I'd say, as it was when I was here.
You want to go to happy Harlem, you take the A train that goes uptown and ride.
You a legend, you a legend. If you wasn't a legend, they wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here filming it. That's right. And a lot of people, our young people, they don't even understand.
But Kev, I was out in...
Okay, take it easy.
Yeah, but I was in... How do you say that thing again?
Hidey high.
Hidey high.
Hidey ho. Hidey high. Hidey ho.
Hidey, hidey, high. Hidey, hidey, high.
Kev Calloway. Come on, take a trip with me up to Harlem. We can dig Minnie the Moocher. Many, many, many others.
Minnie the Moocher, she was a red-hot hoochie coocher. She was the roughest, toughest frail, but Minnie had a heart as big as a whale. Hidey, 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 hide. Hidey, 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 hide. Whoa! Heedy, 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 him, though he was pokey. He took her down to Chinatown. He showed her how to kick the gong around.
While I was still in school in Chicago, I had to get a job. I had to support myself at night. And my sister Blanche, who was in the business before me, got me a job in the Sunset Cafe, which was on 35th Street and Calumet in Chicago. It was quite a spot on the South Side. And lo and behold, who was working in this club in the band was Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong was, he was the greatest. It's no way, you can't get around that anyway. I don't care how you try.
Just because my hair is curly, just because my teeth are pretty, oh, just because I always wear a smile, like to dress up in the lady style, just because I'm glad I'm living, take all my troubles off with a smile, just because my color shady makes no difference, maybe. That's why they call me Shine.
He was one of the greatest musicians, singers, entertainers that I ever knew. And he had a great influence on me. Louis, when he and I become be pretty good buddies, you know, and every time he was off the bandstand, I was up there. So he left the Sunset from Chicago, went to New York. And I told him, I said, man, I'm going to dig you in New York pretty soon. And I was awful fortunate because at a later date, he made it possible for me to get in my first Broadway show. And I've always been grateful to him for what he did for me. I can remember back in the day when I first came to New York. I came there in an automobile via the Fort Lee Ferry, which lets us off right at 125th Street in Harlem. Of course, it's not there today. The ferry doesn't run there today. Whether you arrived here by a nickel ride on the subway or by limo, you'll find yourself in a neighborhood where there's nothing but music and entertainment. The music of the place that was most noticeable. You know, at times it seemed like it was oozing up out of the pavements, and it was so wonderful if you just hear it.
Minnie the Moocher, and many, many more.
Harlem was home to some 200,000 black Americans who had come here from the country areas in the deep South, coming here looking for a new life, looking for paradise, and very few found it. When I came into New York, I said, well, I know a fellow that has a room to rent. So I went directly to his house. I found out where it was. I went to the house of Fletcher Hennessy, who was one of the jazz greats. He was the father of it all. He was the one that started all of the jazz, all of the swing, and the swing arrangements, because he was a fantastic arranger. And I went to his house, rented, got a room. Now, of course, the rooms were expensive. And, of course, we entertainers, we could afford them. But a lot of people in Harlem couldn't afford their apartments and their rooms and their houses, and they had what we call house rent party. Now, they would invite the neighbors and people who are in show business, come to the apartment for food and drink. They'd pay for the food, pay for the drinks, and this is how they accumulate the money to pay for their rent.
I do what you do. When your landlord brings you down, you don't have to wear no frown. Jump and sing, wild and shake, say I do what you do.
Come and parties go. But I think Fats Waller can tell you and show you what real partying is.
My, oh, yes, my. They have a new expression, long old Harlem way, that tells you when a party is 10 times more than gay. To say that things are jumping, leaves not a single doubt. Watch all these cats, watch everything when you hear somebody shout. This joint is jumping, really jumping. Come in, cats, and check your hands. I mean, this joint is jumping. Piano's pumping, dancers are bumping. Every Moses on his toes, in fact, the joint is jumping. Check your weapons at the door, just pay a quarter. Burn your love around the floor, grab anybody's daughter. The roof is rocking, the neighbors are knocking, but we're all bums when the wagon comes. Let it leave, yes, turn it, Jack, turn it loose. Your big feet binge and that Fanny is in the kitchen. What is that? You just walked in. Just look at the way it's switching. Oh, mercy. Don't mind now, cause I'm in power. I got bail if we go to jail. I mean, this joint is jumping. Yeah. Oh, don't ever do the right man. No. Don't ever do that. I mean, this joint is jumping. Yeah.
The majority of the citizens were no wealthier than they are now. but a few did all right. You might have caught the glimpse of Joe Louis, or Father Divine, or Adam Clayton Powell Jr., or Bill Bojangles Robinson, or me. You know, there's a lot of cats that made it good here. You know, people like singers, musicians, songwriters. For us, Harlem was the capital of the world, and we loved it. A very dear friend of mine, E. Sims Campbell, who was an expert cartoonist, once drew a map that laid out all of the better-known hot spots in Harlem. There's the Radium Club, where they used to have those breakfast dances every Sunday morning. There's Tilly's Chicken Shack on 133rd Street. Now, she specialized in fried chicken. And man, it was really good. Lafayette Theater on 7th Avenue, where they had midnight shows every Friday night. Every Negro act that ever was began and ended at the Lafayette. The Savoy Ballroom, where I bombed with my first band. Small's Paradise, one of the better spots, and next door, the brand new police station. Nearby was the Club Hotjar, which was an after-hours spot. The Yeah Man, I always liked that name. Yeah Man. Got a cat down here, a real jazzy cat, man, and he is the reefer man, and he's peddling marijuana 2 for a quarter. Try to get that today, my man. Of all of the nightclubs that we had here in Harlem, one that stood out the most was the Cotton Club. And the Cotton Club is right over there. It wasn't much to look at from the outside, but inside it was a huge place. We had 2 reviews a year. Our reviews ran 6 months at a time. We had the most beautiful showgirls and the greatest of black entertainers. They tell me it was Lady Mountbatten that christened the Cotton Club as the aristocrat of clubs. It hosted outstanding people like had princes, playboys, mayors, millionaires, bootleggers, debutantes, but there were very few blacks. The mob took care of that. But if the Cotton Club was the aristocrat of clubs, then the man whose band played there from 1927 to 1930 and after has got to be the aristocrat of jazz. There are those who say that the club made Duke Ellington, but I think Duke made the Cotton Club. And while he was at it, he made jazz a lot more respectable and acceptable to America. black stars that came through Harlem were not in the jazz field. There was a group that came through there called the Dandridge Sisters. And they were just wonderful. And out of that group came Dorothy Dandridge. Dorothy Dandridge was a child star, and she emerged to be a leading lady in some wonderful films, such as Carmen Jones, Porgy and Bess, Island in the Sun. She was very, very attractive entertainer. She was beautiful, she was sexy.
Easy Street, I'd love to live on Easy Street. If I could live on Easy Street, I'd sit around all day. Sit and play the horses. Easy Street, I'm telling everyone I meet, if I just could live on Easy Street, I wouldn't want a job today, so please go away. Today, go away.
Back in 1928, I was leaving from Chicago to go to New York with my band. We had an engagement to play at the Savoy Ballroom. And on our way in to New York from Chicago, we went via Kansas City. We played a ballroom there in Kansas City called the Altarion Ballroom. And there was a guy there that was playing organ in a movie house. This guy's name was Count Basie. Count Basie, he could make an organ talk. I dug this cat so, and I said, well, man, I'm going on to New York. I said, and when I get to New York, I want you to get in my band. I want you to be a piano player in my band. And I got to New York, and I sent for Basie. But Basie was already there.
That's it, everybody. Now here's the boogie-woogie, solid beat. Come on, you dancers, on your feet. The winners get the prize, as you all know, and we pick them by the speed and the class they show. Let's go!
He was there playing that fine piano with a fine band. And man, I know it, that you all have dug him because he is the greatest. Bill Basie was a heck of a piano player and an organ player. And he could play everything real great, but he sure can't play bocce ball. But I tore him up playing bocce ball.
No one to talk with all by myself. No one to walk with, but I'm happy on the shelf. Hey, misbehaving, saving all my love for you. You fine rascal, you. I know for certain the one I love. I'm through with flirting, it's you that I'm thinking of. Hey, misbehaving, saving all my love for you, just you. Like Jack Horner in a corner, don't go nowhere. What do I care? Your kisses, my dear, are worthwhile waiting for. Believe me, dear. Don't stay out late, ain't got no place to go. I'm home about 8, just me and my radio. Hey, misbehaving, saving all my love for you.
Ain't misbehaving. Sweet Savannah soup. Honeysuckle rose. Fat Swallow. That's all you can think of is Fat Swallow. What a guy. One of the sweetest guys. This guy was happy all the time. I don't know if it was because he was fat that why he was happy all the time, but he was. You know, the last time I saw him was when I was going to Hollywood to make Stormy Weather. And he was coming back to New York from Hollywood because he had finished his part in Stormy Weather. He was coming back and I was going out. And both our trains stopped in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And we, you know, got out to stretch your legs. Then I saw Fat Swallow. And we went through a big thing there at the station. Oh, we just hugged and kissed each other because he was that type of a guy, you know. And I went on to, after I went on to Los Angeles, and he was on his way back to New York, and I never saw him after that.
Look at these fine, delicious dinners out here this afternoon. What you say? Well, all right then, baby. I'm with you 100%. I mean, I want to tell you something. Every honeybee feels jealousy when they see you out with me. Don't blame them, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. When you pass my flowers through the vine, I know the reason why. You're much sweeter, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. I don't buy sugar. You just have to touch my cup. You're my sugar. So sweet when you stir it up. When I'm taking those sips from your lips, does the honey drip? Mercy, perfection, goodness knows. You my honeysuckle rose, yeah.
Well, I declare, who's that there? Looks to me like a millionaire. See that hat, see those shoes. Man like that ought to be good news.
I'm Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Mississippi is my name.
I'll get away from you, man. What's the matter with him?
I'm Mississippi. Mississippi is my name.
Robinson, the king of the clog dancers. My partner in the Cotton Club shows. He and I worked together, and we did a thing in the show. I'll take off on the song Mr. Gallagher and Mr. Sheen. It was Mr. Robinson, Mr. Calloway. Keep dancing's up to you, and singing's up to me. And he was really it, the unofficial mayor of Harlem, Bill Bojangles Robinson.
Minnie.
Early bright, I found on my righteous pad after grabbing myself about 8 hours of DOS because I was beat from my conch to my stomps from a very strenuous slave on the last black. I guess you're wondering what I was saying there. Well, that was jive talk. Well, I said that I had just gotten out of my bed after 8 hours sleep because I had had a very hard night's work the night before, and that I just jumped up out of bed and came on down here to the studio to chat with you folks. And this is a language that we musicians used to use in Harlem, and to talk with back and forth to each other and to keep people from knowing what we're saying. And it got so popular that I had to put out this little jive dictionary, Hepster's dictionary, which has all of the expressions and all of the jive talk that's in there. Righteous?
And the jive is right. Oh, tonight's the night. All read, all right. Come on, old man, come on. Weed to catch ya, help ya. Oh, you reap this righteous riff. Pop, pop. Here's the spiel to help ya. Oh, you reap this righteous riff. Pop, pop. You gotta come on like G.I. You dig the reed beat with me, sigh. You put it right on the Lehigh. Then you can really get by. Oh, my. Weed to catch ya, help ya. Oh, you reap this righteous riff. Pop, pop. Now you help, I betcha. Oh, you reap this righteous riff. Weed to catch ya, help you. So you reap this righteous riff. Pop, pop. Here's this field to help you. Oh, you reap this righteous riff. Pop, pop. You gotta come on like G.I. You take the reed beat from the side. You put it right on the Lehigh. Then you can really get by. Oh, my. Weed to catch ya, help you. So you reap this righteous riff. Pop, pop. Now you have I bet you. Whoa, you reap this righteous riff. You gotta come on like G.I. You dig the reed beat from beside. You put it right on the Lehigh. Then you can really get by. Oh, my. You get to have you. Oh, reap this righteous riff. Mop, mop. Now you have I bet you. Whoa, tippily boy. Mopsy, mop, mop. Tippily giddly boy. Somebody gets side. This righteous riff.
I don't want French fried potatoes, red ripe tomatoes. I'm never satisfied. I want the fram sauce with the arson face, with shafapa on the side. I don't want pork chops and bacon. That won't awaken my appetite inside. sauce, shrimp, fram sauce with...
I first saw Nat King Cole late 30s and 40s out in a club in Los Angeles. And matter of fact, it was the first time that he sang. He was there with his Nat King Cole trio. And then, of course, he later went out as a solo singer. And he asked me, he says, how did I do, man? He says, how was that? I said, man, your singing was great. Your playing was great. Everything was cool with the exception of your pronunciation. Where you didn't pronounce your words proper. Now, you from now on, I mean, you just, if you're going to say that, make it that. Or this, make it this. And he developed that. And later when he recorded Mona Lisa. He said, Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa. Very to understand everything. And he went on from there to just record hit after hit.
'Cause I'm a shy guy. Wish I was a sly guy. Then I could say, baby, baby, I love you. Just like those guys in moving pictures all do. I'm just a shy guy. Wish I was a sly guy. Then I could say, baby, baby, I love you. Just like those guys in moving pictures all do.
This is my daughter, Chris. She's a singer, dancer, in the shows. Great little actress. But she got it all, I think, from her godmother, who was Lena Horne. Beautiful. Every time I call that name, it just thrills me. That's Lena Horne. She was in the Cotton Club. She was in the Cotton Club chorus. And I decided to take her out of the chorus and do a song with her. It was a beautiful thing, and she was so beautiful. She's so outstanding, and she's developed to be one of the greatest song stylists that we've ever had. And of course, we've had other great black stars, but there's only one, Lena Horne.
I was born on a Friday, married on a Friday too. Yes, I was born on a Friday, married on Friday too. Never had no bad luck, no bad luck, till the day that I met you. Baby, I don't want no more loving. No, I'd rather be all alone. So when my payday comes around, I call my money on my own. Let me forget
rhythm in the riff. When the music jumps, I get lift. Body, little, lodo, 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 anything to make it swing. I love the muted trumpet tone, blended with the mellow saxophone. Little, lodo, 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 what a lot of kicks it brings. When that rhythm's in ya, the blues don't have a chance. Find that groove in ya, make you never think about romance. Jump, jump your rhythm with the riff. Any kind of music, it's a lift. Body, little, lodo, 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 anything to make it swing.
Billy Eckstein. There is a smooth, slick cat. Beautiful singer. Great, great band. See that band? Man, he's just like me. Have them great bands, that's it. And Billy's got one. But man, dig that thread he's got on. I don't know if the suit is too big or he needs somebody else to be in there with him to fill it out.
Riffing is the thing for me.
I've always been asked about my dress on the stage. I started with the white full dress. I made that very popular. And then I went into another one that I called the zoot suit. It was one before that, though. It was one before the zoot suit. I had one, the blue serge suit with the belt in the back. That was one of my creations. And then the zoot suit. Now, the zoot suit was one that I displayed all of my different styles of dancing and walking with the swinging of the chain, and there was the long coat and the real baggy pants. It was really a great costume. It was quite a real zinger as a suit, the zoot suit.
I want a suit with the wreath, pleat with the drape, the shape and stuff. Come to look sharp enough, see my sunny gal.
I want a brown gown with a zop top, with a hip slip, a lace waist in the sharpest tape, to see my Sunday sands.
Got a suit with the wreath, pleat with the drape, chain and stuff. Come to look sharp enough, see my Sunday gal.
I got a brown gown with a zop top, a hip slip and a lace waist in the sharpest taste. See my Sunday sands.
I want to look keen, so my dream will say, you don't look like they both.
So keen that I'll scream, here comes my walking rainbow.
Got a suit with the wreath, and stuff, cut and flat,
in the latest fad, see my Sunday gal.
Yes, I have enjoyed this whole thing. And if I had to, I'd do it all over again. It's been so beautiful, so wonderful, and so lovely. And I hope you like it.
Folks, here's a story about Minnie the Moocher. She was a red-hot hoochie coocher. She was the roughest, toughest frail, but Minnie had a heart as big as a whale. Hidey, 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 hide. Hidey, 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 hide. Whoa!
Next on A&E, join special host Jackie Mason and his musical guest Kenny Rankin for an evening at the Improv.
She messed around with a bloke named Smokey. She loved him, though he kink.